Here are 10 more of the most corrupt countries in the world. Now, this episode is based on the Corruption Perceptions Index, or CPI, which is a score from 0, the most, to 100, the least, that combines various forms of corruption into a global index. Be sure to check out part 1 if you haven't already for more countries. Hey everyone, welcome back to FTD Facts. Leroy Kenton here. We got 10 more countries to look at, so let's begin. Coming in at the number 10 spot, we have Azerbaijan. Their CPI score is 23. Now, when we look at Azerbaijan, it's situated between Eastern Europe and Western Asia, and it's a country that boasts a plethora of modern and ancient marvels, really. Baku, its capital city, is filled with a blend of futuristic and historical edifices. However, despite its allure, Azerbaijan's business compliance risks and political corruption hinder foreign direct investments and tourism. Like, when we take a look at the oil sector corruption in Azerbaijan, it's primarily attributed to patronage. And although there exists an anti-corruption mandate in the country, well, the frail judiciary empowers corrupt officials and police to act with impunity, resulting in the prevalent practices such as extortion and bribery. The country at number 9 is Sudan. Its CPI score is 22. Sudan is definitely a captivating nation, brimming with tourist attractions, boasting more pyramids, as a matter of fact, than Egypt. Yeah, I know, right? Very surprising. Either way, it was once Africa's largest country and is rich in mineral deposits such as gold, iron ore, and other base metals. Unfortunately though, despite its wealth, many Sudanese communities have yet to reap the benefits. The prevalence of cronyism and patronage has resulted in government officials having direct or indirect ownership stakes in numerous companies, thereby compromising the economy. On top of that, a lack of transparency has exacerbated the frequency of civil servants demanding bribes from both citizens and private enterprises in exchange for services they are legally entitled to. Eritrea comes next at number 8. Its CPI score is 22. Located in the Horn of Africa, this small country has one of the most militarized populations on the continent, with over 20% serving in the armed forces. This has led to an inflated military workforce, putting pressure on the national budget. Eritrea is plagued by pervasive corruption, with patronage and cronyism being the most prevalent forms of corruption. And citizens seeking civil or judicial services have often been asked for a bribe or gift in return. Also, high-ranking military officials and generals exert significant control over the population, contributing to the widespread corruption and illegal activities in the country. And then in addition to that, police officers have been accused of abusing their positions as civil servants, frequently facilitating the release of their friends and family from prison as a gift. And the same practice is also carried out for private citizens who can afford it. Moving on to number 7, Guinea-Bissau. Their CPI score is 21. Guinea-Bissau, also one of the smaller African nations, is unfortunately ranked among the most corrupt countries on the continent. Despite its lush national parks and diverse wildlife, this West African nation is plagued by rampant corruption within its security forces. The country's judicial system has been severely impacted by government mismanagement and lack of accountability, making it difficult to investigate and prosecute criminal activities. Also, corruption in Guinea-Bissau is not limited to the upper echelons of government. Many citizens have reported being asked to pay a bribe by public officials at least once. The nation at the number 6 spot is the Republic of Congo. It has a CPI score of 21. Congo-Brazzaville, also known as the Republic of Congo, should not be confused with DRC. It's a different nation. This Central African country is home to the world's second largest rainforest and the renowned Pygmy tribe. Additionally, Congo has a wealth of mineral resources, including copper and cobalt, and Congo's diverse flora and fauna make it an attractive tourist destination. However, corruption is a significant obstacle to the growth of the tourism industry. The president's strong grip on power has made the state vulnerable to patronage and a compromised judicial system. Coming in at the number 5 spot with a CPI score of 20, we have DRC. The Democratic Republic of Congo, or DRC, boasts abundant mineral resources, including gold, diamonds, cobalt, tin, copper, and coltan. However, the DRC remains among 5 poorest countries globally. Corruption is widespread in the DRC and affects all levels of government and economic sectors. Clientelism, patronage, and rent-seeking practices have undermined fair competition and made the country unappealing to a lot of foreign investors. From there, moving into number 4, we have Turkmenistan. It has a CPI score of 19. Turkmenistan is a landlocked country in Central Asia, and it's renowned for its historical archaeological sites such as Nisa and Merv, which serve as significant stops along the ancient Silk Road. And as such, the country definitely has tremendous tourism potential. Nevertheless, though, corruption in government, as well as the allocation of licenses, have been pervasive in Turkmenistan for an extended period. The president's family members and close associates occupy high-ranking positions in politics, education, and trade. The country that comes in at number 3 is Nicaragua. Its CPI score is 19. Nicaragua is a Central American country famous for its stunning lakes and volcanoes, and it's often overlooked a lot by tourists. However, the country has come under scrutiny for allegations of political repression and a lack of transparency regarding the state budget. Corruption in Nicaragua is pervasive, with political power monopolized by President Daniel Ortega and his wife, Vice President Rosario Murillo. This type of cronyism and nepotism have severe consequences on the electoral system and the protection of human rights. Coming down to the number 2 spot, this country is Comoros, with a CPI score also of 19. Comoros is an archipelago in the Mozambique Channel, and it offers stunning beaches, lush cliffs, and quaint colonial coastal towns, yet it's often overlooked a lot of times by tourists. The country's lack of infrastructure and weak governance systems have contributed to the growing issue of corruption in Comoros. From judiciary to civil servants and security forces, corruption is rampant in the country. Citizens often have to pay bribes to evade regulations, obtain fake police reports, and avoid arrests. Ending this episode off at number 1, we have Chad. This country's CPI score is 19. Chad is a landlocked African country rich in oil, gold, and uranium. The country has been alleged to have high levels of corruption, from the quasi-independent judicial system, which is often influenced by government officials, to punitive police behavior. Corruption in Chad has been normalized though, and it is often expected for locals and tourists to pay bribes to police and other state forces when crossing checkpoints. All this has led to Chad being one of the poorest countries in the world, although an oil pipeline from Chad to neighboring Cameroon generates billions of dollars every single year. So there you have it. This concludes part 2 of the 10 most corrupt countries in the world. As always, I want to hear your thoughts and comments. Sound off down below. If you did make it this far and you enjoyed this one, don't forget to leave a big thumbs up. Until next time, guys, stay awesome, stay educated, and I'll see you in the next episode.